Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. We touched 49,500 already this morning as the markets have been tanking across the board. In today's show, I'll be discussing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. Also note, Mr. 100 is buying the dip like a maniac today. Bought 1,200 Bitcoin worth $60 million. We're also going to be discussing a potential drop all the way down to 40,000, according to crypto quant analysts, as well as Bitcoin dominance skyrocketing to 58% amid altcoin and stock market bloodbath. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin ETF trading volume tops 1 billion amid this ongoing crypto crash. We'll also be discussing on-chain analyst Willy Woo says about half the U.S. government's over $12 billion stash of the biddy will be returned to Bitfinex. That's right, approximately 100,000 Bitcoin family. We'll also be discussing the latest from the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, predicting unlimited growth for MicroStrategy stock. He also has been predicting a 1987 style crash across the markets, which will send Bitcoin parabolic to 500,000 and then 10x to ultimately $5 million per coin, which he believes is the current true value of Bitcoin. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes and go ahead and subscribe to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Also important, hit the bell icon. That way you can turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And let's kick it off with our market watch. But just a reminder, today is pod episode 1722. I'm your host, JV. It is August 5th, 2024, Monday is in play. So let's check out the market. And as you can see, checking out Coin 360, blood red across the board. Bitcoin maintaining only down 9.5% now, trading right at the 54,000 mark at the time of the live stream. We have Ether down 12.5%, maintaining just about 2,400. Solana down 9%, XRP down 10%, and just overall carnage in the markets. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. The current crypto total market cap is all the way down to $1.89 trillion. Bitcoin market cap is just north of $1 trillion. This is wild. We have a lot of volume though, 242 billion worth of volume past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance still on the climb, 55.8%. Ether dominance still on the decline at 15.3%. Let's see if there's any gainers within the top 100 in the past 24 hours. Only a handful, including Helium, Celestia, Mantra, and Binary. Now, which alts, if any, are you bullish on for the particular bull? Holla, let me know. And checking out the crypto bubbles so we get a visual perspective. Let's start on the daily, then we'll zoom out to the monthly. Safe to say 97% of the market, Rec City. Zooming out on the monthly, this is very similar, maybe 95% of the market, Rec City. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index today, we're barely just above extreme fear and fear at a 26. Yesterday at 34, last week at 74, and last month at 26 in fear. So there you have it, yo. Let me know where you feel the biddy will likely take us next. I want to share with you the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, and we'll also pull up the live charts for you guys. This headline reads, Bitcoin analysts see seller exhaustion as Bitcoin price rebounds 10%. That's right. Here you're looking at the 1 hour chart. Bitcoin sought damage control at the August 5th Wall Street Open as the crypto markets bounce from a brutal sell-off. That's right. TradingView showed a 4,000 price rebound following the start of the U.S. trading session, having dipped below 50 G's, baby. For the first time since February. It's been a minute. Bitcoin had traders on the edge, as many predicted further downside as TradeFi markets return. In the event, risk assets saw comparatively mild downside, with the S&P down 3% and the NASDAQ down 3.7% lower on the day. U.S. markets avoided the kinds of losses seen in Asia, where Japan's Nikkei 225 saw its worst two-day combined losses in history. And as reported, alleged mass selling by trading firm Jump Trading contributed to the snap reaction to the event of the crypto markets. According to the Kabisi letter, they put the blame firmly on the door of the Japanese yen carry trade, a now unprofitable operation adding to the existing market pain. Quoting them here, the solution to this problem is not as simple as it may seem and may require a separate thread. This is vastly different situation than the previous market downturns. And as pointed out here, volatility index rises to 65, a level only seen during the 2020 pandemic and 2008 financial crisis. They additionally noted that this volatility index had hit levels only seen twice in history, as I just referenced in 08, as well as the COVID crash of 2020. The latter drew various comparisons on the day, including from Charles Edwards, CEO of Caprioli Investments, quoting him here, some eerie similarities to early 2020. Stocks overvalued, growing risk of recession, rising unemployment, sharp correlated global market moves down. At some point, the Fed will step in, likely with early rate cuts and probably liquidity too. But when? Until then, expect all markets to correlate. Now, the Fed was reported to be considering an emergency meeting to review the situation on the day, with bets on the outcome diverging considerably. Quoting Wharton School of University Professor Jeremy Siegel here, I am calling for a 75 basis point emergency cut in the Fed funds rate, with another 75 basis cut indicated for the next month at the September meeting. That's the minimum. Let me know if you agree or disagree. He referred to the next month meeting at the FOMC, an event which markets now see triggering a 0.5% rate cut as per data from the CME Group's FedWatch tool. And turning to Bitcoin market activity, Sku struck a balanced tone as he described a lack of actual chaos, despite 6-month lows, quoting the analyst here. Maintain sell control often precedes this shift to the downside. Takers selling consistently past the supply limit sellers on every bounce. And Sku noted that the downside often results in sustained periods of failed breakout activity, and in this case, above 70,000, as he shares here. No actual chaos yet, he concluded about the setup on the largest global exchange, Binance spot order book. And meanwhile, Rec Capital shared the following. Finally, the sell side volume has reached and even dramatically eclipsed seller exhaustion levels seen at the previous price reversals to the upside. In fact, Bitcoin hasn't seen this level of sell side volume since the halving in mid-April 2024. That halving date, to be precise, was April 19th, because we had a pump watch. How many of you remember and watched it on the stream? Do let me know. But some breaking news, though. Check it. Mr. 100 is buying the dip like a maniac today. And this was as per a few hours ago. He bought 1,200 Bitcoin worth $60 million. And the mystery remains, who exactly is Mr. 100? Let me know your speculation or thoughts on that one. And in other news, Bukele put Brr, referring to the good old Federal Reserve likely to start printing lots of money. And as Samson points out, a good price to buy a lot of the biddy. Amen to that. And checking out some of the live chart action via TradingView, brought to you by this is what is it called? Coinbase, the largest exchange here in the States. You can see on the 1 hour chart, you can see that big red candle we had hitting the new low of 49.5. And then we had two mega green bullish candles immediately following that massive red candle here on the hourly chart. And let's get some different looks. Let's look at a 4 hour chart. And again, this is via TradingView via Coinbase right now. And yeah, again, big red downward candles on the 4 hour, but nice corrective green candle to take us back in the $54,000 range. And let's check out the 1 day chart next here. Clicked on the 1 week, my apologies. A little bit of a lag. There we go. 1 day, as you can see on your screen, not looking so good. We had 1, 2, 3 red candles followed by itty bitty green corrective, followed by red, red, red. So past 7 days has just been a bloodshed in the entire market. And again, we're currently sitting just above 53,700. And we do have a target on the daily chart all the way down at 47.7. Again, the current low is now 49.5. So the next target being 47.7 on the daily chart. Let's look at the weekly. And thank God for the weekly chart, because it is typically the most bullish. So they say when in doubt, just zoom out. We still have a big fat target for a cup and handle sitting just shy of 126,000. And again, this is on the weekly chart. Last 2 weeks have been consecutive red. Prior to that, we had 2 consecutive green. So we'll see where the price action takes us next. And let's just check out really quick the 1 month to get a broader perspective here. Again, live and in the flesh via TradingView via Coinbase. And as you can see, this red candle is clearly forming on the monthly chart, but we still got a long ways to go in August before entering the month of September. But there you have it, family. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know where you feel the lows will likely go. Here's a 40,000 bottom scenario playing out according to Crypto Quant, so you can get a perspective of what can potentially happen, considering we already tapped 49.5. So that's just another $10,000 lower. So here we go. Bitcoin tumbled more than 15% on Monday, briefly dipping below 50 Gs, tapping 49.5 amidst concerns of a U.S. recession and growing geopolitical tension in the Middle East. This was the first time since February that Bitcoin fell below this threshold before rebounding to around 52. Yeah, we rebound to 55, and we're currently hovering in between that, just above 53 right now, in between 53 and 54. Now, Crypto Quant's latest analysis indicates Bitcoin could potentially drop to 40,000, signaling a challenging period for investors. The crypto analytic platform highlighted that traders are currently experiencing their most negative unrealized profit margins since November of 2022. This downturn reflects a significant shift in market sentiment, with increased selling pressure as traders seek to mitigate the losses amidst the uncertain economic backdrop. As a result of the Bitcoin massive fall, the percentage of the holders in profit dropped to 75% as per Into the Block observation. This is significant of a decline and the lowest level seen since January, when the Bitcoin price formed the local bottom of around 39,000. So let's not forget, wasn't too long ago, beginning of the year, we were only 39,000. So we're almost double that right now. So y'all must have forgot. Bitcoin wasn't the only asset affected by the intense selling pressure. Ethereum was down more than 22%, dragging its price down to 2,200. Also, of course, Solana, XRP got wrecked 18 and 16%, along with the rest of the market. Dogecoin declined by over 20%. Some alts lost 40, 50% plus of their value, just like that. So the bloodbath triggered the liquidation of 1 billion in crypto track futures over the past 24 hours. According to the latest from CoinGlass, 919 million long positions were liquidated, while shorts traded accounted for 162 million. Bitcoin was hit the hardest, seeing over 371 million worth of liquidations, with longs accounting for 310 million and shorts at 61 million. Ethereum followed suit with nearly 353 million liquidated during the same time frame, including 303 million from longs and roughly 50 million from shorts. Next up were Solana and Doge, which also experienced notable liquidations with 60 million and 13 million respectively. And in the process, 283,000 traders were liquidated in the last 24 hours. So it goes to show you, yeah, trading with futures is absolutely idiotic at a time like this with massive volatility, not just in crypto, but across financial markets across the world. So it's pretty wild. The decline subsequently caused the crypto greed and fear index to indicate fear reaching its lowest point since early July. As I pointed out earlier to you here, we're currently at 26, and I think once we hit 25, we're then officially in extreme fear. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Yeah, this particular headline reads, Bitcoin dominance hits 58% amid altcoin and stock market bloodbath. Can you say bloodbath? Yeah, Bitcoin dominance, the ratio of the Bitcoin market cap to the entire crypto market, has notched a new yearly high of 58% amid a crypto and stock market tumble. New all-time high. That's right. The dominance of the Bitty briefly touched 58.1% in the early hours of this morning, August 5th, amid a sudden sell-off that saw Ether drop as far as 18% in 2 hours, while Bitcoin fell 10% in the same time. Hence, there is no second best. This crypto asset is called Bitcoin, right? Now, IG Markets analyst Tony Sakamore, he shared that the drawdown serves as a reminder that Bitcoin and crypto assets more broadly sit at the pointy end of the risk asset spectrum, quoting him here. It is a position wash with some recession and hard landing fears driving it, and some war fears as well, given the fact that Israel and Hezbollah have been exchanging rockets over the weekend. And the U.S. is ramping up the military presence in the area. Yikes. Sycamore explained the wider bloodbath occurring in the Asian markets, including a massive 8% daily stumble in Japan's Nikkei 225, and South Korea trading halts came back to a wider risk-off move in the global market. Quoting them here, if you had to point to 3 markets or areas that did really well at the start of this year, it'd be the tech trade, it'd be the Bitcoin, and Japan trade. So I don't think there's any surprise that they are the 3 trades that have fallen by the largest amount. And he also explained that the Ethereum price action had been copying it, particular due to the large number of other tokens and ecosystems built on top of the network. Quoting him here, when altcoins get polexed, blows through into the Ether price actions as well, noting significant unwinding and sell pressure stemming from the crypto trading firm Jump Crypto. In fact, the price of Ether down 30% in the last 7 days. Yikes, almost 1/3 of its value. While major altcoins, including Solana, BNB, and XRP, are down 35, 25, and 21%. Respectively. So looking forward, Sycamore noted the upcoming release Institute of Supply Management's Manufacturing Purchasers Index report as something that could shed light on where the market is headed from here, as he shares here. I think the ISM number has the potential to either calm or inflame concern, because if all of a sudden we get cracking in the labor market, then it should show us the Fed has missed their window, which could probably lead to further downside for all the risk assets, including cryptocurrency. So there you have it. Yo, let me know your thoughts on that. And my question for you guys, how high do you think the Bitcoin dominance will likely climb for this cycle? Again, we just tapped the new all-time high of 58.1%. And how low do you think the ETH dominance will likely decline, which is currently in the 15.8% ballpark, which is the lowest it has been in years? Next story of the day, let's discuss this ETF volume. Then we'll be discussing that $12 billion stash in Bitcoin of the government belongs to Bitfinex. We'll also be discussing a very bullish $5 million price prediction from Max Keiser, as well as a 1987 style crash, as well as the fact that MicroStrategy has no top, especially with what they got going down right now with these massive Bitcoin buys. So let's break it down. Bitcoin ETF trading volume tops 1 billion amid the crypto crash. That's right. Trading volume for Bitcoin ETF surged past 1 billion at the start of the trading today, August 5th, as crash in markets triggered extremely elevated trading activity across crypto. Alex Thorne, head of research of asset manager Galaxy Digital, shared on X. After only 20 minutes of trading, Bitcoin ETFs have clocked more than $1.3 billion in trading volume, with iShares Bitcoin trusting the highest churn at upwards of 875 milli. That's right. Thorne expects Bitcoin ETFs to see net inflows from dip buying as investors clamor to take advantage of a roughly 8% drawdown in the spot Bitcoin prices since August 4th. The downturn was led by Ether, which dropped upwards of 21%. After funds including Jump Trading and Paradigm VC sold hundreds of millions of dollars worth of the Ether, according to their report on August 5th by QCP Capital. Now, analysts say Jump has already sold over 377 million in ETH and may intend to liquidate as much as 481 million in total. Well, the name says it all. Jump. Exactly what they're doing with their position. They're jumping it. The overnight sell-off compounded a worsening macro environment that has rattled all asset classes. The S&P is down 5% since August 1st, and according to the report, macro sentiment has also worsened following the poor U.S. unemployment data since last Friday. Additionally, huge unwinds across all assets caused volatility to spike sharply, including Japan's central bank raising interest rates July 30th, forcing traders to quickly unwind positions that sought to capitalize on the country's cheap borrowing costs. Quoting Marcus Thielen, founder of 10x Research, the market structure, including fiat to crypto on-ramps, have been weak for months. It is unlikely that significant players will invest amid high volatility and unpredictable prices. Many still need to exit positions and deleverage their portfolios. So ultimately, the leverage traders got caught with their hands in that cookie jar and got wrecked. So thank the leverage traders for that one. Next story of the day, let's discuss this $12 billion government stash of the biddy, and then we'll dive into some very bullish projections, as well as the 1987 style market crash, which we may be witnessing right now. End of the world. Panic, folks. I'm just playing, but not really. Here we go. Headline reads, analyst Willy Woo says about half the U.S. government's over $12 billion stash will be returned to Bitfinex. That's right. A popular on-chain analyst by the name of Willy Woo thinks that the U.S. government will eventually return nearly 100,000 seized biddies to their rightful owners, meaning 100,000 of their stash does not really belong to the U.S. government, so they shouldn't have the ability to sell it. So yeah, late last month, we had Trump said at the Bitcoin 2024 conference that his administration will keep 100% of all the Bitcoin the U.S. government currently holds or acquires into the future. But analyst Willy Woo shared with his 1.1 million followers on X that Trump's plan is impossible because about half of the U.S. government's Bitcoin stockpile belongs to the crypto exchange Bitfinex, quoting Willy Woo. I keep hearing about 200,000 BTC owned by the U.S. government. 96,000 BTC is from the Bitfinex hack. After due process, I would expect these or those stolen funds to be returned to the exchange, Bitfinex. In February of 2022, U.S. Department of Justice announced that it had seized and recovered more than 94,000 BTC stolen during the 2016 Bitfinex hack. Woo says he sees Bitfinex and his sister company Tether seeking the assistance of the justice system to recover the massive Bitcoin stash. Quoting him here, Bitfinex and Tether certainly has the budget to mount legal action to facilitate the return of the Bitcoin given the billions they make per quarter. That's right. Those Bitcoin and theirs, those Bitcoin are theirs and not their users, as users were made whole a long time ago. They already have a history of building a large Bitcoin treasury. Tether's latest product is an over-collateralized stablecoin with gold. Given their Bitcoin accumulation strategy, I would see or could see Bitcoin added to this product in the future when the Bitcoin volatility lowers and the Bitcoin treasury is efficiently large. So if Bitfinex takes legal action to recover its Bitcoin holdings, Woo says the firm will likely do it under the radar. Quoting him again, it is in their culture to be low key and out of the limelight. If legal action is being taken, then absolutely, they would not comment publicly. So more than likely what he is saying is they are going to take legal action and get their 96,000 rightfully, Bitcoin restored to them as they should. And at this time, the U.S. government currently holds 213,246 biddies worth just above $12 billion. Meanwhile, stablecoin issuer Tether has 75,000 biddies worth $4 billion plus dollars in its treasury, making Tether one of the largest Bitcoin holders in the world. That's why you got to respect Tether USDT. They are advocates of the Bitcoin. They're long-term holders and buyers of the Bitcoin, and I don't think they're slowing down anytime soon, family. USDC Circle, don't trust them. They're enemies of Bitcoin, but you already know. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Now for our featured story of the day. Max Keiser predicts unlimited growth for MicroStrategy stock. I'll be discussing why that is. He also projects a 1987 style major market crash, which can send Bitcoin to 500,000 per coin and then to 10x to $5 million per coin. So let's break all this down. Shout out to the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser. So as you can see in this headline here, we're going to be discussing the unlimited potential for the MicroStrategy stock and Saylor's genius plan of how he continues to buy billions and billions worth of the biddy. But here's something that Max shared on August 1st. There are still people who are financiers for decades who still don't understand what MicroStrategy is doing and what the stock literally has no top. He also has shared that I doubt the U.S. has the brains to add Bitcoin to reserves. Jealous Donald is no President Bukele. Bitcoin going to 5 million with or without the United States. So there you go. There's one of the 5 million predictions. He also has tweeted, oh, actually, this is something I wrote, but on the back of his tweet from July 15th, where he wrote, my understanding is that Trump, when he wins, is announcing a plan to do a Saylor for the U.S. Treasury. And I got to give Max the credit because Max was the first, the hint of Trump making a big Bitcoin USA adoption announcement at the Bitcoin conference. And I was the first podcaster to report on it the same day. So thank you, Max. In fact, I covered the story virtually every single day leading up to the conference, beating all the lamestream media outlets to the punch, including Bloomberg, Fox, CNBC, and the rest of them. So get your news exclusively here first because the lamestream is about 2 weeks behind JV and Crypto News Alerts, just FYI. He also shared on February 15th, I chatted with legendary Howard Lutnick. His recent affirmation that Cantor Fitzgerald manages 97 billion treasury port, blue minds at Davos. He is a classic Wall Street BSD who, as one of 24 primary dealers, occupies the nexus of the multi-trillion-dollar US dollar universe. I gave him my pitch, and Bitcoin is an incredibly cheap CDS on an imploding global fiat money world, and how 5 million per coin is the fair market value for Bitcoin. I repeat, according to Max, $5 million per coin is the fair market value for Bitcoin. His response was a mixture of horror and excitement. Remember my credo, no billionaire left behind. And there you go, Cantor Fitzgerald with Bukele over there in El Salvador, preaching some Bukele-nomics. But so that's right, 5 million per coin is the fair market value of Bitcoin, according to Max Keiser. And now also, I think I was the probably first podcaster to share this story as well. 1987 style crash will send Bitcoin to 500,000, again quoting Max Keiser. And he actually shared this. Here's the receipt. Let's check out the date. February 21st, 2024, almost 200,000 views, quoting Max. 1987 style crash coming. Bitcoin, the ultimate safe haven, will soar past $500,000. Gold will continue getting demonetized by Bitcoin. Bitcoin ETFs and domestic Bitcoin miners will get seized by the U.S. government. 1 million middle and upper class migrants will flood into El Salvador. So there you go. And now let's discuss this MicroStrategy stock play, because this is actually quite interesting. Hardcore Bitcoin supporter and advisor to the president of El Salvador, Max Keiser, has made a remarkable statement about MicroStrategy, the business intelligence company led by Michael Saylor. Keiser suggests that the growth potential for MicroStrategy stock is essentially limitless, meaning there is no top. Max Keiser's bullish stance on MicroStrategy cannot be understated. He contends that even seasoned financiers fail to grasp the strategic brilliance of the company and why the stock price keeps climbing. So why is Max bullish on MicroStrategy? Number one, strategic Bitcoin acquisition. MicroStrategy's aggressive acquisition strategy involves a continuous purchase of Bitcoin. And according to Max, the strategy is the core of the stock's unlimited growth potential. And number two, tech-driven growth. Unlike traditional firms, MicroStrategy leverages advanced tech and data strategies, creating an inherently resilient and expansive business model. Keiser asserts in a tweet that many financiers do not understand these dynamics, resulting in their failure to anticipate the stock's performance, as I already pointed out. That's why MicroStrategy literally has no top. And Michael Saylor's company has been relentless in its Bitcoin acquisition strategy. Recently purchased another 169 Bitcoin for 11 million and now holds 226,500 Bitcoin, which is approximately $15 billion based on the current exchange rate. Maybe a little lower now considering the more recent crazy crash in the market. But also MicroStrategy just announced purchasing another 2 billion worth of Bitcoin with some convertible note deal. So here's the breakdown of the recent purchases. June acquisition purchase was 169 biddies at 11 million, now putting them at 226,500 Bitcoin. Their average purchase price is 36,800. Not too shabby. Now, the company plans to raise 2 billion for more Bitcoin. This is the latest news with MicroStrategy. They posted a net loss of nearly 103 million, which is $5.74 per share in a recent financial report. A stark contrast to the 22 million profit from the previous year. This loss is attributed to mainly an impairment charge on Bitcoin holdings amounting to 180 million, a significant increase from 24 million in quarter two of the previous year. So here's the fundraising efforts and plans to further solidify its Bitcoin position. Here's what they plan to do. March fundraising, raise 500 million. Summer fundraising, raised another 500 million and then increased it to 700 million. And they had an intense raise of an additional 2 billion as reported just recently. So an optimistic Michael Saylor demonstrated how Bitcoin has substantially boosted MicroStrategy share price, placing it ahead of other reputable tech companies. Quoting them here, MicroStrategy announced it holds a total of 226,500 Bitcoin with an average purchase price of 36,800 and a purchase cost of 8 billion and a current value of 14.4 billion. MicroStrategy will raise another 2 billion to buy more of the biddies. So why does Max believe MicroStrategy's stock price has no top? Max believes that MicroStrategy's strategic acquisition of Bitcoin and its advanced data analytic capabilities create a unique business model with vast vast growth potential, a combination that many traditional financiers fail to comprehend. How does MicroStrategy fund its Bitcoin acquisition? It funds it through various financial instruments. I'm not going to pretend to understand. I understand the whole thing, but you already know they do some transference of convertible notes, and voila, they print money out of thin air. They borrow at virtually 0% interest, and they just keep buying more Bitcoin. I love it. However, that strategy works. I'm all for it. Let's continue to do that strategy more. But there you have it, family. What are your thoughts? MicroStrategy stock going up forever, Laura, as well as the Bitcoin price. And what are your thoughts on the fair value? The true value of Bitcoin right now should be $5 million. What are your thoughts on that as well? And let me know. Welcome to the Q&A segment of the live show.